How's it hanging, my beautiful sparring ears? My name is MC317, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Dark Energon Wheeljack from Transformers Prime. This is a figure that I have been a little iffy on reviewing because he is molded out of entirely clear plastic. Well, not entirely. There are some good parts where it's actually hard to explain, but we'll explain them as best we can when we get into the robot mode. This is actually my 5th time trying to shoot this review because I can't really figure out what to start with this figure, so forgive me here. The details on the vehicle mode are really cool, and with the way the clear plastic is structured, what it does is it creates the illusion that it's kind of techno in a way, and in all the right ways. It makes it look like something you'd see out of Tron. If you just gave it a little bit of paint here, maybe make the headlights right there out of a powder blue, mold the entire thing out of black clear plastic, and then maybe even make the windshields highlighted a little bit with the maybe make this part here and this part here out of powder blue, and you got a Tron car right here, and also make the rims light blue, and I think it could work really nicely. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, the vehicle mode looks really nice, and it's a very menacing vehicle in a good way. And what's also really cool is that this guy is a reference to we'll get into the reference in the robot mode, but for now, let's talk about features in car mode. You can take the swords here, which look really nice. Love this little detail right here. You got some Klingon stuff right there. I think it's actually Cybertronian. I don't know. I would assume it says Wheeljack or something, knowing Hasbro. But there are these little pegs here. I've seen no one show where the pegs themselves are, as far as I know. But I wanted to show that the pegs are right here. You can see it cover the tip of the sword. And you try to line it up with these holes on the swords. As you can see, there's a hole in the center of the handle. And what you do is you try to line it up with the pegs, and if you line it up right, you get a Mad Max mode. I just realized I didn't peg that in all the way, but there we go. There is his Mad Max mode. And I don't know what this mode is actually called, but I like it. I quite like it a lot, just because I could easily see this as being something Mad Max, with the whole menacing look here, with these swords coming out from the front, knocking vehicles out of the way. Love it. Now, to get into transformation, we're going to remove the swords. Oh, that reminds me, before we get into it, there is little peg holes right here on what will become the feet, and you peg the swords in like so, and you can store his swords right here. Love me some weapon storage. Always very much appreciate, even if it's not something very well done like another figure we're going to take a look at, because I don't know, I just really like how it's displayed here. And I could also see these being exhaust pipes or something. I don't know, it doesn't even detract that much, even from the bottom. Looks really nice, and he rolls really, really well. Kind of surprised, but in a good way. I'm surprised in a good way. Now, for transformation, and this is actually something funny, so I'll share you guys a little story here. One of my friends, NobleGamer16, and I, what happened was, when we tried reviewing this figure, one of his arms came off. It wasn't broken, but oh man, did we have I had a freak out at least. He just sat there in the background laughing, as we both found it kind of funny. But anyway, maybe I might upload that original shoot because I still have it. But anyway, for transformation, you take the back wheels here. I like to do it from the other side for this. And you, actually, we'll do it for the top side to show you what happens. You pull them from here. Anything past this hook, anything past the, I can't remember what the rear fender, I think. Anything past that, you pull on it gently. Since this is clear plastic, it'll probably break easily. And you'll see these peg holes come out. And this is also one of the reasons that this part of the transformation scares me. We'll do that on the other side, like so. And then what we do is simply pull it up a tiny bit. We pull up the arm part a little bit, and then we kind of just level it out, kind of like a lever. Now, what we do here then is, we'll get to the legs last. This is a really cool part of the transformation. What we do then is we kind of straighten everything out here. These little parts here that will become the armpits, you put his arms down, then rotate the armpits up, and do that the same on this side as well. Like so. Now what you want to do is you want to extend the arm right here, and we'll do it on this side to show you how it works. You hold it up here, and then you extend it like that. Now what we do then is you pull right here very carefully, I might add, very carefully, because this is clear plastic. I say as I'm twisting and bending everything on this. Just watch. My fear with this toy is that it's going to break on camera, and just watch. This is on the 5th shoot. That's when things are going to start breaking, and I'm going to have to upload it either way, because I'll never get this review done otherwise. There we go. Alright, now I remember my trick. You hold it down here, and then you pull like that. It unpegs it, and then you swivel it around, tab it in, and there you go. There are the arms. Now what you want to do here is pull this section down, push this part up, and then the head kind of comes out all epic-like, in my opinion. I think that's an epic head reveal right there. Now, this is actually when the arm kind of popped out, because it's using these little clamps here. In fact, we'll talk about what happened in the robot mode. There we go. And oh wait, I just realized something I forgot to mention, and crap, I aligned everything too, so this will take me a while. There are these little peg holes right here, and this tabs into them. And it's also a shame because this is not shown in the promotional artwork. It's actually done wrong. Anyway, we have this part, the upper body done for the most part. Now we go down to the feet. First, you spin the feet until you hear them kind of push into place, because I didn't know that part of the transformation. I didn't know that they slid into these little slots back here. But then what you do is you push this up and then rotate it. Again, push it up and then rotate it. And then we split the legs apart. Now we just pull the feet up. Then what we do is we split the thing back here, and now we have Dark Energon Wheeljack in his robot mode. And give me a minute to fix this angle. There we go. It's not the best, but it could be worse. Now, I love the aesthetic of this guy. I love it because with the way the dark colors make a beautiful contrast what it gives the appearance of to me is this demonic Wheeljack. Like he's a tortured soul just looking for some sort of emotional closure. And I don't know why, but every time I look at this guy, I can easily just imagine that. Now, if you saw earlier, there were these 2 swords here that came in that you can use in car mode. What you can do is simply use his hands like so. Just put them in. They actually don't go in very easily, and they don't stay in very well, which is one of the few gripes that I've got with this figure, besides the clear plastic. Now, if we're going to talk on the mold itself, that is one issue that I think I'm going to have if I even had the money to afford the original version of this figure. But then, we just give him these cool little bronze swords, and now I can imagine even more that he's just a tortured soul. Because he's even got lanky limbs and everything. He feels very stylized. I'm just gonna come out and say it. He feels like something you'd see in an anime, and it makes a beautiful look, in my opinion. Now, if you don't want good old Jackie here to use these swords, you can store them in these little slots right there. Just put them in like so, and now you have yourself some good old weapon storage. Weapon storage in robot mode and car mode. Hasbro, please make more of these. I will give you my money. I will give you the deed to the house if you keep this up. Now, one thing that a lot of you people who know the Diaclone toy line, I believe, in which this is no. This is actually a really cool modern reference to a character named Slicer, who was originally just a blue version of Wheeljack. I don't know much about the character himself, but what I do know is that I did think he looked really cool, because I only knew about this toy for I think about a year. And I've only had him for a few months, so yeah, but point is, I'm still happy here. Now, one problem that you may notice is that he does have a bit of trouble standing. That's because, in my opinion, his feet don't have much of a heel to them, so there's nothing really keeping him bound. On top of that, the knee joints on mine are a little loose. I don't know if anyone else suffers from this issue, but I know mine does. He's also got some pretty good light piping. I'll see if I can angle the camera right to where it'll pick that up. You can kind of get an idea of that. It doesn't pick up very well, but the idea is still there, and I love how it's a rich red. Well, not really a rich red. It's more of a bright red, but it's still really cool. Now, for articulation, oh yeah, and also the paint feels very durable on this guy, so you can just, I'm not going to pull Evangelist and throw him. Yeah. Anyway, for articulation, we have let's get these out. We have a ball joint at the head, which actually does kind of worry me because the clear plastic used for this does look very brittle, and I do have some cracking in mine, but it's nothing that I haven't worried about yet. Anyway, shoulders move up, down. Due to the way this hinge works here, it kind of also acts as a sort of semi-butterfly joint. Really cool. He does do a full 360. Bend at the elbow. Not a very good bend, but it's still a bend, and it's pretty decent. Ball joints at the wrist, which is amazing. Why wasn't this mold used as a reference for future figures? Anyway, legs go up that far. Actually, I think they go up a little more. Nope. He does not have the ability to do the full Van Damme. He can probably pose between some trucks, but not in the way that our Lord and Savior can. Anyway, his legs go forward, backward, thigh swivel. Oh crap. Soft ratchets at the knees, which I always appreciate ratchets of any kind on a figure. And this knee piece here is also kind of posable, so if you want to just have that kind of like this all the time, because I never really saw this much in the show, so I don't know if it was like this or this. Either way, I don't mind it. And you got a ball joint at the ankle that works as a pivot, and it can move side to side because the ball joint is back there, but it's still really cool how they ingeniously put that ball joint. But the articulation's pretty good. You can get some decent sword poses. And I like to go all weeb and pose Wheeljack like this, while having the other sword sheathed on his right side. I don't know why, but I kind of like it as this. My God. There we go. Now let's bring up the camera a little more. There we go. And that is Dark Energon Wheeljack. A fantastic figure with beautiful painting and sculpting, an amazing level of articulation in my opinion, and he's got a really cool robot mode. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll see you next time.